I'm going to discuss about working as a quant in compliance profiles. This is job profile at US Bank, and this is a job profile in the compliance area. You'll be working as a quant in the compliance area for this particular bank. How does it look like? Right? It's not a very senior role. This is a mid-year level role, a mid-senior level role, which pays anywhere between 110 to 145. Not a very bad salary, but not a huge salary either, I would say. But this is a mid career, like 3 year experience, probably even 2 year experience guy, right? So not bad. Okay. So this is the profile where you'll be building models, because that's what quants do. Building models and testing models, documenting and implementing, writing reports, and that's what you do as a quant, right? Qualification, just a bachelor degree. That's surprising, right? Or a master's degree or a PhD, right? In the US, they don't care too much about master's degree for many jobs, unlike in Europe, where people will almost always reject if you do not have a master's degree. There are exceptions, but for in most banks, uh, you will be asked whether you have a master's degree or not. So it's very common, therefore, in Europe, that people finish their master's degree before applying for jobs. Wherein in US, it's different. People start applying for jobs right after the bachelor program, even. But the education system is also a bit different here in Europe compared to that in US, because in the US the bachelor programs are 4 years, whereas in Europe it's 3 years, and masters is about 1 and 2 years. So it works a bit differently. Uh, Okay, so you do not need to have a PhD, but if you have a PhD, that's always good. You need to have advanced knowledge of regression techniques, parametric and non-parametric algorithms. So parametric algorithms are mostly the regression type algorithms. Non-parametric algorithms could be, your decision tree, random forest, that kind of times, the machine learning algorithms, time series analysis, and other statistical models, understanding of statistical modeling and validation. They use SAS, surprisingly. SAS is a very famous statistical software in the banking and financial world. Python is becoming more popular nowadays compared to SAS, but it used to be the most popular programming language. It's a proprietary programming language. It's not freely available to learn, but this is still a language used in many banks. As expected, you will be doing data compilation and building models, testing models, writing documents. Writing skills are pretty important in the field of quantitative finance in banks and insurance firms. Next to your technical skills, mathematical skills, your skills in writing good quality documents is very important. Okay, so this is in the compliance area, right? This is not in the risk management area. Many people who work in the field of risk management, they use quantitative modeling techniques, which has been there for decades, but not many people know that compliance is also becoming very quantitative nowadays. For a long time, compliance used to be an area where lawyers would work, accountants would work, and you probably won't find many mathematicians or technical people working in compliance maybe 10 years back. But things have changed so much in the last many years. You see many quantitative people working in the area of fraud and anti-money laundering and those areas, and that has become a very quantitative field. People nowadays build machine learning AI models to spot or to identify frauds or money laundering happening in the field of payment and transactions. So for financial crime related activities nowadays, quantitative models are being used in various forms, whether it's insurance firm, payment companies, fintechs, and large banks as well. So yeah, this is one emerging area for employment for quant finance people. It used to be risk management in most banks, but now the demand is more in the compliance side compared to risk, because risk has saturated a bit because it's been there for decades. Whereas compliance, even though it's been there for decades, is more. It used to be more different compared to what it is now. It's more quantitative now, and therefore the demand for quants in such area is actually more compared to that in the risk. Maybe it's a bit different in the US. I don't know, but in the Europe, I see that the requirement for quants in compliance area is actually more nowadays compared to that in the risk area.